Hi guys, Aceface back with another video for Twisted Dice, and I'm back with another kind of hopefully interesting subject for you guys today to discuss, and I'd really be interested as always to hear your comments down below. So today what I want to talk about is a little bit around, would it be better if top players didn't just play the meta armies rather than trying to continuously reach out and grab the most broken or most powerful army? Would it be better if they just played the faction that they enjoy most or fringe factions? And I'll kind of explain why, and I'll explain the reasons why they don't do it. So hopefully this will be interesting. Before we jump in, if you could please hit that big thumbs up, helps us out tons. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And as I said before, make sure you share your thoughts in the comments below. So anyway, let's jump into this video. So the main reason for this is the Atlantic City Open that's just been from Frontline Gaming. We've just had it. And yeah, it was won by Dark Eldar. Which was not to be unexpected, as it was using the pre-nerf Dark Eldar. So that was pretty expected. The interesting thing was there was, excuse me, there was a couple of people, John Lennon and Richard Siegler, both using armies that were not perceived to be the meta armies. So they were using, Richard Siegler has gone back to his Tau, and John Lennon's been using a particularly nasty Ultramarine army recently. And I just thought that was really, really interesting, because if you now tracked those armies post the competition, I guarantee you will see more of those armies in competitive play. So already, where John Lennon had been using that Ultramarine list for a while and actually doing incredibly well, started to see elements of that build start to pop up in other kind of tournaments and in other armies. So already just the impact of a top player playing that type of army has started to move the meta or move players' mindset in that way. And exactly the same with Richard Siegler. I guarantee you that over the coming weeks, more people now are going to move to Tau or dust off their Tau where they thought they were unplayable because the community has told them that Tau are the worst army and you can't do anything with Tau. So you're going to start to see a few of them return now, because they're like, oh, hang on a minute, Richard Siegler said he can make them work or what have you. I'm going to give them a go as well. It would be very, very refreshing, and I think very good for our community and our meta, if more of the top players didn't try to squeeze the most out of the most broken brand new codex and try and abuse the gaps in what we've got to try and maximize their opportunity for success. And I do get it, but if more people did that and went a little bit left wing, decided not to jump on the bandwagon, not to go that way and actually take different armies, because they're very clever players, they're very astute in understanding how to build a very good army list, how to eke the strengths out of different codexes, how to look at the meta and look at how to counter it. They've got the ability to do that, to start to create interesting stuff, and that will in itself create quite a healthy meta and a healthy community, because more and more armies will be being played and more people will be trying different things and getting less disheartened by rocking into a tournament and playing continuously the same army over and over again, because they've seen it played by the best players. And we're getting to a stage within 40k where it's becoming not quite a celebrity, but there is, content producers and high level players now are very influential over the wider community. We have the internet, we have Facebook, everything is broadcast quite readily and very much available now through all different media. So people know what's doing really, really well and want to use that to help themselves be successful. And that makes total sense. But what that does in itself is it means that more and more people jump onto that bandwagon. Before you know it, you've got an awful lot of people playing the same army. And that isn't particularly healthy, because if you're not one of those people playing that same army, it's very stale and very, very boring. If a few more people would take that risk and start to kind of jump on board and play their own armies that they love and try to go against the grain, I think we'd have a much healthier community and meta. How you do that and incentivize that, I don't know. It's not easy. You know, there is something around obviously the old ETC, the new World Championship, when that's kind of up and running. Obviously with COVID, it's not been easy. But what quite often happened then was that some of the top players that were going to play for their international teams would be playing their faction they're going to represent to try and get practice with that. That helps a little bit, but it's still quite a small sample set. And even some of those players did still pivot to what was the most broken army to try and get wins. You know, and I get that. You know, if you're a top player, you know, you want to be seen winning tournaments. And why would you not take the strongest army to try and achieve that? All I'm saying is that actually, if there was more incentive to not do that, we would actually genuinely have a healthier meta. And actually, those players are probably capable of still winning tournaments anyway with their slightly non-optimized armies. So I think it would be really, really good if there was a way of us kind of driving that. Or if just, you know, those players took their kind of social responsibility and realised that actually it's better for the game if they did that. So I suppose my hat is tipped definitely to Richard Siegler and to John Lennon for what he's done with Ultramarines. And his Ultramarine list is disgusting. It's revolting, and you wouldn't want to play it across the table. It's pretty nasty, but it's still off the track of the new codexes. He's using the oldest codex from 9th edition and making it work now. So look, I think that's really good and that's really healthy for the community, and I would like to see a lot more of that. And I think my advice to other players is don't try and do that. Don't try and jump onto the bandwagon. Stay loyal to your codex, play the army that you love, get reps with it. You will become a better player genuinely, and you will find it more satisfying when you do well than going 4-1 with the most broken army. That won't make you feel good, because ultimately, unless you win with that army, you know, and you're probably not going to, because a better player with that army will win that tournament, you're not going to come away from that tournament feeling great. So unless that's your actual army, my advice is don't do that. So look, I think it's a really interesting subject. It'd be really interesting to hear your thoughts. I'm sure people will be split and they just feel like, no, I'm going to take the most strong thing. And I get that. But it'd be really interesting to hear your thoughts. And until the next video, thanks for watching. Bye for now, guys.